Can college football learn anything from the Masters? That is the question. The Masters is full of tradition. That is the word. When you think of the Masters, you see, the whole flyovers and the course and the champions dinner and all this stuff goes into the Masters. In one weekend, it creates the biggest hype around any golf tournament in the entire year. This is the most waited for golf tournament all year. I think, in my opinion, it's above the Ryder Cup, in my opinion. Some of you might differ, but in my opinion, it's above the Ryder Cup. You have tradition. That is what the Masters is. The Masters is full of tradition. What can college football learn from the Masters? That's kind of what I want to dive into today. What do they learn from them? What can they take away? Well, the Masters, I'm going to be honest with you, leaves a lot of money on the table. Diving into this topic, the Masters leaves hundreds of millions of dollars on the table each year because their media rights. The way they have their media rights is they don't get paid for streaming. Like CBS has the rights and the Masters doesn't sell the media rights. The Masters makes money two ways. I mean, I'm sure there's different ways, but two main ways. Ticket sales and number two is merch. They average $60 to $70 million in 4 days off of merch. That is called branding, folks. College football needs to learn a little something from the Masters in terms of branding. Now, college football is a big brand. I mean, when you really think about all the merch that they sell from each conference, each team, there's 138 college football teams. So yes, college football knows what branding is. They know how to make money from merch. But think about the Masters. Can college football sell $70 million worth of merch in 4 days? I don't think. That is the most hype. Now, you can make an argument it only happens once a year. In college football, each team has 12 games in a year. There's hundreds and maybe, if not thousands, of college football games each year. So you can make an argument it's less of it, so you want more of it. So there's more merch being sold. There's more tickets being sold in college football over a bigger span of time. But the Masters does it in 4 days. I think what the biggest thing that they need to take away from the Masters is the fact that the Masters doesn't care about money, because they know that they can make money in selling their brand. When you can build a big enough brand, which is what we're doing here at Wyatt Zang's College Football Show. This is my show. I'm building a brand where you guys can come in and watch college football year round. I'll give you college football twice a week year round. This is a brand. I'm building a brand. Wyatt Zang's College Football Show, Tuffy is our mascot, is the brand. Now, what the Masters has built is a brand. What college football has built is a brand, but the Masters knows how to run their brand better. Another thing I want to mention is leadership in college football. Leadership is a big thing that the Masters prioritizes. One thing they're really good at is having the right people in leadership. The Masters has a lot of former players as leadership, and that's the biggest thing that I take away from the Masters and the way they run it is their leadership. They have former players like Jack Nicklaus, like, Tiger Woods. They have those guys on the board to run the Masters each year. That is the best decision that they could make. In college football, you have a bunch of guys who potentially don't watch college football. We don't know, but I'm going to say they're not invested as me and you are. They have those people, and they pass on the players. Imagine if you had Nick Saban running college football. Imagine how much better it would be. The ideas he would have, because he's been in here coaching, so he knows what it's like. He knows what Kirby Smart's going through. He knows what Kalen DeBoer's going through. He knows what those guys are going through. So he can give ideas to benefit the sport. Those other guys have never been in the sport. They have never coached. They are not players. They've never been in the sport. Nick Saban, as an example, you could use anyone as an example, Urban Meyer, whatever, but he's been in the sport. Now, I'm not saying you can't have non-sports players or non-sports coaches, to run the sport. I'm not saying that. Josh Pate as commissioner, he would be a great commissioner. I'm not saying he can't run college football, but just imagine having the people that actually love this sport to run the sport. That's all I'm taking away from this. So when you look at the Masters, they're one of the most prestigious displays of tradition and just selling their brand. And I think that's what college football could take away. Now, yes, it's golf versus football, But those are, in my opinion, the two best sports in the world, and I think that they can learn from each other. So in my opinion, college football can learn a few things from the Masters, and that's what they can learn from it. So that's my take on the whole college football learning from the Masters. That's all. Not going to learn. College football is not going to turn into the Masters, but just a few things that they can learn there from the Masters.